What would happen if $1 suddenly became worth $300 overnight? Sounds insane, right? But let's imagine it. Imagine you walk into a grocery store tomorrow and see a loaf of bread for just 5 cents, a brand new iPhone for $3, gas at 0.10 cents a gallon. But would life really be better? Or would America's economy collapse? In this video, we'll cover the history of the US dollar's exchange rates, supply and demand, value, and what would truly happen if the dollar's value skyrocketed internally. We usually talk about the US dollar in terms of other currencies. $1 equals 0.9 euros or 150 Japanese yen. That's called an exchange rate. But here, we're imagining the dollar against itself. The truth is, exchange rates and currency values are controlled by how much people trust the dollar and how much of it is circulating in the economy. There are 3 ways countries control currency values. 1. Fixed exchange rate. The government sets the value of its currency and keeps it stable by directly buying and selling it. 2. Floating exchange rate. The currency's value is decided by the open market, by supply and demand. The US dollar currently works like this. 3. Managed exchange rate. Governments let the currency float, but they step in to stabilize it when it swings too much. Now imagine the US dollar suddenly becomes 300 times stronger. That means the entire money supply has been reduced or revalued so sharply that every $1 bill in your wallet is suddenly worth $300. But how would that even happen? To understand, let's use a simple analogy. Suppose you and I each print our own money. I create 100 baseball cards, and you create 100 basketball cards. We agree 1 baseball card equals 1 basketball card. A few months pass. I work hard and make my baseball cards more valuable. Maybe I fully autograph them, and now collectors want them. But the other hand, you didn't improve your cards. Suddenly, demand for my baseball card shoots up, and everyone wants to own one. Now, 1 baseball card could trade for 3 basketball cards. My money just got stronger because of higher demand. This is how currencies work. If demand for the dollar rises or the supply falls sharply, its value skyrockets. But if this happens suddenly, where every $1 now equals 300, the US economy would be in total shock. At first, people might cheer. Imported goods would become unbelievably cheap. That $50 shirt from Italy? Now you'd pay just a few cents. Foreign vacations? Dirt cheap. But here's the hidden disaster. Number 1, exports will be collapsed completely because American products would become insanely expensive for the rest of the world. Nobody abroad would buy US goods. Factories would shut down. Manufacturing jobs would vanish. Number 2, corporate earnings tank. US companies that earn money overseas would suddenly lose value because their foreign profits would be worth nothing in dollars. Stock markets would be crash. Number 3, mass unemployment. As companies cut jobs, unemployment would spike. Even major industries like tech, agriculture, and services would suffer. Number 4, deflation crisis. Prices inside the US would fall dramatically. That sounds good at first, but it triggers a deflationary spiral. People stop spending because they expect prices to keep falling. Businesses make less money, lay off workers, and the economy slows even more. It's similar to what happened during the Great Depression in the 1930s, when prices collapsed, wages fell, and unemployment hit 25%. To see how dangerous this would be, let's remember some key moments in the dollar's history. The gold standard era. Before 1933, every US dollar was backed by gold. The government couldn't print more dollars than it had gold reserves. This kept the dollar's value fixed. But during the Great Depression, President Franklin D. Roosevelt removed the gold backing to inject more money into the economy and fight deflation. After World War II, the dollar was pegged to gold again, and other currencies were pegged to the dollar. This made the dollar the world's reserve currency. 1971 Nixon shock. President Richard Nixon ended the gold standard permanently. From then on, the dollar floated freely. Its value started rising and falling based on global markets. 2008 financial crisis. The U.S. printed trillions of dollars to save banks and industries. This weakened the dollar but prevented total economic collapse. These examples show one thing. Extreme changes in the dollar's value, whether up or down, cause massive economic pain. What if the dollar becomes extremely weak instead? Now let's flip the scenario. What if $1 became worth just 0.01 cents overnight? This would mean hyperinflation. Your savings would be worthless. A loaf of bread would cost $300. Companies couldn't pay employees. The economy would collapse into chaos. This actually happened in countries like Zimbabwe and Venezuela, where governments printed so much money that their currencies became worthless. People had to carry suitcases full of cash just to buy groceries. So both extremes, a dollar that's too strong or too weak, are disasters. Why does a balanced dollar matter? A healthy economy needs a stable currency. If the dollar is too strong, exports die, unemployment rises, and the country sinks into deflation. If the dollar is too weak, imports become too expensive, inflation spirals out of control, and people lose faith in money. This is why the U.S. Federal Reserve tries to keep inflation at around 2% and intervenes in markets when the dollar swings too far. Solutions to protect the dollar. If America ever faced a crisis where the dollar risked becoming too strong or too weak, experts would recommend these solutions. Number 1. Reduce import dependency. Right now, the U.S. imports a huge amount of consumer goods and raw materials. Strengthening domestic manufacturing makes the economy more resilient. Number 2. Diversify exports. America needs to sell more than just tech and agricultural products abroad. More export sectors equals more balanced trade. Number 3. Invest in renewable energy. Much of the U.S. trade deficit comes from importing oil. By producing more energy at home, solar, wind, nuclear, the U.S. can reduce reliance on foreign suppliers. Number 4. Industrialization and Infrastructure. Building strong industries at home creates jobs and stabilizes the currency. Number 5. Smart monetary policy. The Federal Reserve must carefully manage the money supply. Too much printing leads to inflation. Too little leads to deflation. If $1 suddenly became worth $300, America wouldn't become richer. It would face a total economic meltdown. Factories would close, unemployment would explode, and the global economy would spiral into chaos. That's why the strength of a currency isn't about big numbers. It's about stability and trust. A strong country is built by strong industries, balanced trade, energy independence, and a healthy job market, not by making its currency artificially powerful on paper. So the next time you hear people wishing for the dollar to go higher, remember, the real question isn't how strong the dollar is, it's how strong America's economy is behind it. What do you think? What would happen if $1 suddenly became worth $300? Would jobs vanish? Would imports destroy U.S. industries? Tell me in the comments below.